What to say about this tomato? The only thing I can say about this tomato is I bought seeds on eBay from a seed seller from, I don't remember what country it was from. But the only description on the tomato was that it is called the brown tomato. Now, I've grown a lot of different plums and different types of tomatoes, and I never quite had a tomato quite like this. This is a very interesting type of tomato. So first of all, the name of the tomato is called a brown tomato. That's what I bought the seeds under, that name, and that's all I know about it. The second thing is it's a type of plum tomato, but it's a very small plum tomato. It's bigger than a grape tomato, but it's smaller than a plum tomato. So like this will be a plum tomato, for example, and you can see the size of it. Okay? So it's not quite big enough. What I can say about the growing behavior of this tomato plant is that this thing is an extremely aggressive growing plant. It will grow easily to 20 feet. It throws out a bract that holds maybe anywhere between 6 and 10 tomatoes like this hanging from the bract. So it's a heavy producer. And it'll throw bracts out, an unbelievable amount of bracts. I usually make sauce with these tomatoes, and it's a wonderful sauce tomato. This is like probably my #1 or #2 tomato to use to make sauce, tomato sauce. It's just perfect. It comes out, you can cook it down for a very short period of time, just get some of the moisture off it. The flavor of it, when you cook it, enhances. You put a little salt in there, not much, just a little bit of salt, and the flavor comes out like 10 times. It's just a fantastic tomato. I don't know what else to say. I don't know if I can find a link for this tomato on eBay anymore. I bought these about 3 or 4 years ago, something like that. So it was a while ago, so it's kind of hard for me to kind of track its history, origins, anything really about it, other than maybe where I bought it from. I know I got it from eBay. I just don't have the information on that anymore. So let's cut it open and show you what it looks like. And they do call this a brown tomato for a reason, because it is copper-toned in color for the most part. It is brown for the most part, but if you leave it sit for a while, it eventually gets red like this. It doesn't turn brown and stay brown. Okay, so that's the inside. You can see there's 3 chambers, a center core. You can see the wilding in the outside rind of this tomato. Seeds are attached to the rind. It's a very juicy tomato, I can tell you that already. I eat these things all the time when I'm out in my garden. These things they're the first ones I pick and eat because there's so many of them. I could just pick 2 or 3 of them and you're basically almost got a belly full of tomatoes. So let's do a taste test. It's very juicy, sweet. I'd say probably 30% on the sweetness. Tangy, I'd probably go 40% on the tangy. And the center part of those 2 numbers is moisture. It's just very wet, moist tomato. The skin was a little tough on this tomato, which aren't normally tough on this tomato. But this year, the skins on seems a lot of my tomatoes were kind of on the tough side. There are some earthy undertones to it. Sometimes it's more obvious than other times, but there are some earthy undertones. It's not enough to really say that it's not a good snacking tomato in the garden. Okay, so that was your review for the brown tomato. I guess I call it the brown plum tomato. I'm not sure what to call it. All right, and I will see you on the next one.